Welcome to our live stream. And in this this series of episodes, I'm going to help you learn how to be the world's best geography teacher. Whether you're from Gen Z or a Gen Geezer, whether you're 7 years old or 70 years old, this free system, will help you learn countries of the world, 50 states, continents, and oceans, help you learn about the world so easily and quickly that when you hear the news, you will absorb it easier because you understand where things are, where places are. You will also have more confidence in yourself, and you will be able to show respect to other people from around the world who may not look like you, may have a different accent, but once you know the countries of the world, you can have a small, respectful conversation. If it's simply to say where you're from, and they say, "Well, I'm from Bangladesh," and in my case, I think uh, it was one of the big stores. The guy behind the cash register said he was from Bangladesh, and I said, honestly, I said that's one of the most beautiful names for a country in the world. It's simple things like that. As long as you know where the countries are, you can say something nice, even if it is something simple like, "Oh, Tanzania, that's in Africa, right below Kenya." Simple things like that. So let's get right into it. I'm going to show you what I do on a regular basis to practice and review what I'm learning about countries of the world. I've already gone through our system. I've learned the counties of Texas. That was probably the biggest project I've ever taken with this system. 254 counties of Texas. And I've also learned just recently the 29 counties of Utah because I'll be in Salt Lake City with our Click and Learn team in just a couple of weeks. And I decided to learn the names and locations of those counties. But with our free system, first of all, let's just get right into it. I'm going to be showing these episodes day after day after day because I want to lead you through how you, whether you're a student or a parent or a teacher, a school superintendent, social studies specialist, a geography alliance coordinator, with this system, you can use this system for free to teach yourself and then to teach others, to share with others. I'm going to go right. I'm going to put myself down at the bottom to give us more room on the screen. And we're going to go right into clickandlearnsoftware.com. I'm at clickandlearnsoftware.com. I click the Play Now button. And because I'm already a registered user with a user ID, I have something called a favorites channel where I can put the games that I want to work with. Instead of having to scroll through and search for different games about whatever I want to learn, scrolling back and forth to see all the different games we have, I put my favorite games into my favorite channel. So let's just start. Let's start at the left. I'm going to go through the um, provinces and territories of Canada. There are 13 in all. So I'm going to move to review mode. We have three modes: learn mode, practice mode, and review mode. In review mode, click the single player. All the questions are on the screen. They're all in alphabetical order, so you don't have to look at the question each time. You know that after Alberta, I click on British Columbia, New Brunswick, British Columbia, Manitoba, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, Northwest Territories, Nova Scotia, Nunavut, OPQ, Ontario, Prince Edward Island, Quebec, Saskatchewan, and Yukon. That took just a few seconds, actually. We exit. This is just something to practice on a regular weekly basis or more often if you're just learning. For example, I'm just learning the counties of Utah. Let's get into that game. I'm in review mode. I click the Go button. All 29 counties are listed on the screen. I click in alphabetical order. And because I'm just learning these, this is something I would do a couple times a day, and then once a day, and then once a week until I'm really comfortable. Let's just go right through it. Beaver, box elder, cash, carbon, Daggett, Davis, Duquesne, DE, Emery, FG, Garfield, Grand, GHI, Iron, J, Wob, K, Kane, LM, Millard and Morgan, NOP, Paiute, PQR, Rich, Salt Lake, San Juan, San Pete, Sevier, Summit, Tool, and I'm not sure if I know how to pronounce these right. I will learn how to pronounce them once we get to Utah. Uinta, Utah, Wasatch, Washington, Wayne, and Weber. And we did not beat the clock. Normally, I would, well, let's just do it. I would click go and over until I beat the clock. Whisper the names out loud as you click. Beaver, Box Elder, Cash, Carbon, Daggett, Davis, Duquesne, Emery, Garfield, Grand, GHI, Iron, Wob, JK, Kane, Millard, Morgan, LMNOP, Paiute, Rich, RR, Rich, S, Salt Lake, San Juan, San Pete, Sevier, Summit, Tool, Uinta, Utah, Wasatch, Washington, Wayne and Weber. Simply clicking in alphabetical order. We beat the clock, and now we're going to exit from that with the top left button up there. I'm going to show you one of the games I just created to help me with the counties of Texas. I created a game to help me learn, and this is very, very helpful. I'm in review mode. I say click single player, and I click go. And the question asks, how many counties begin with the letter A? How many counties in Texas begin with the letter A? Once we can go through this, and we're taking the test of the counties. Let's see, you got a big blank map of the counties of Texas, and you're supposed to write, let's say, the first letter of each county. It's helpful to know how many counties start with a particular letter, so that as you're going through and you miss something, you say, well, how many counties are there that start with the letter A, B, C, and so forth? So we'll go right through this, and it's asked how many counties start with the letter A. There are two sets of counties that start with particular letters. There are 8 that start with the letter A, 19 that start with the letter B, 28 that start with the letter C. D I think is 9. D is 11. Okay, D is 11. E is 6. F is how many is with F? 9. G is the show me button. There are 10 that start with the letter G, 12 that start with the letter H, and GH. Actually, 23 start with the letter H. One letter begins with the letter J. K. K is 10. K is show me. K is 9. L is, let's see if that'll be 11. LM is L start. There are 15 counties start with the letter L, 20 that start with the letter M. N, there are 5 that start with the letter N. O, there are only 3 that start with the letter O. Ochiltree, Oldham, and Orange. 3P. 8 start with the letter P, starting with Palo Pinto, Panola, Parker, Parma. That's 4. Pecos, Polk, Potter, and Presidio. That helps as you're going through doing that. Q, there are no counties that start with the letter Q. R, 12 that start with the letter R. 18 that start with the letter T. S, 10 that start with the letter T. U, there are 3 that start with the letter U, Upton, and Uvalde. V, 3 that start with the letter V, Valverde, Van Zandt, and Victoria. 15 start with W. Zero star, X, Y is Young and Yoakum, and Z is Zapata Zavala. That's just one of the games that we just created recently, and it's something I will be practicing with until I get that to where I really know how many counties start with each letter. Let's go right into the geography part, and we're going to play the game about continents and oceans. I've got this game in my favorites just to show you how the favorites channel works. Once you've got a topic down perfectly, you don't really need to keep that in your favorites, but I do because it's just so easy and so much fun. These are the 12 continents and oceans, 7 continents, 5 oceans. That's 12 in alphabetical order. And we don't even have to look at the question. I know that after I click Africa, it's going to be Antarctica, Asia, Australia, Europe, North America, South America. That's the continents. The oceans are Arctic, Atlantic, Indian, Pacific, and the new one, Southern. When I was a kid, Southern Ocean wasn't something that was specifically classified or identified, but now we have that whole area down there all around the the continent of Arctica is the Southern Ocean. Now I'm going to click on the top left button to exit. Let's go right into South America. Again, in review mode, click single player. Whisper as we click Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Falkland Islands, French Guiana, Guyana, Paraguay, Peru, PQRS, Suriname, TU, Uruguay, and V, Venezuela. And eventually in these different videos, I'll give you a lot of clues that I use to help me learn these countries and states and so forth. For example, when we get to the 50 states, Vermont is shaped like the letter V. Louisiana is shaped like the letter L. So some of those things are just little tricks that I use to help me as I'm going through this. That was South America. We're going to get into the 50 states in review mode. It asks for Alabama. Let's see how quickly we can go through Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii. And you don't become an expert at this at first. You practice. It takes about one evening to learn the names and locations of 50 states. It lasts for Idaho. I know there are 4 states that start with the letter I. Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky. Louisiana is shaped like the letter L. Louisiana. Maine, 8 states start with the letter M. Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana. Nebraska, there are 8 states that start with the letter N. Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, and then we get 3 for O, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah. Utah is shaped like half of the letter U is my little clue. Vermont shaped like the letter V. Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming. And those of you who live in West Virginia, you know what this is. So anyway, okay. That's the shape of West Virginia. Now we'll get into, I'm going to scroll over, and I'm going to scroll right into the Central America game. Practice. The thing is, when you've spent, and you can learn the names and locations of 175 countries of the world, 50 states, continents, and oceans, provinces of Canada, the 31 states of Mexico in one school semester. In this series, we're going to learn all of that in, let's say, 1 month, and 1 month of 2-hour live streaming a day, and you have free access to everything I'm showing you here, except the individual states. You have free access to continents and oceans, 50 states, countries of Europe, Africa, Asia, South America, the Middle East, Central America, provinces of Canada, 31 states, and all of that is free. And currently, we're also giving away our games to learn the 254 counties of Texas because I think that's just an amazing project to be able to do that. So, where are we? Central America. We have 11 questions for Central America. I'm going to click go, and before I start, I'll show you that this is Central America. This is Mexico. This is Colombia, but this is Central America. But so for reference, we're also including Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, and Jamaica, just for reference so we know how all of this is connected. So let's just get going. It asks for Belize. Alphabetically, Belize, Costa Rica, GH, El Salvador, GH, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama, Cuba, Haiti, Jamaica, and Mexico. Whisper as you click, and let's go right into Europe. I haven't done this for a while, so we're going to see if I can even do this. It asks for Albania, Andorra, Austria. Let's do Austria, Belarus, Belgium, Bosnia, Bosnia, Bosnia-Herzegovina is the real name of this area. Bosnia, Bulgaria, Croatia, shaped like the letter C, Czech Republic, Denmark, England, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, JK, Kosovo, Latvia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, LM, Moldova, Monaco, Montenegro, Netherlands. Holland is in the western part of the Netherlands. I met someone from Holland recently, and a guy and his wife were bicycling through Arizona. They stopped and spent the night at my house, and it was so interesting to visit with him. It asks for the Netherlands, North Macedonia, right above Greece, Northern Ireland, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Russia. That's for San Marino. San Marino is a little landlocked by it's inside of Italy, San Marino, Sardinia. And when I talk about countries, Sardinia and Sicily are not individual sovereign countries. They are part of, in this case, Sicily is part of Italy, but they are big places on the earth, and although they might not be individual countries, there are places that we should know where these are located. I click on it asks for Scotland, actually. Scotland, okay. Scotland, Serbia. Now it asks for Sicily. Slovakia, Czechoslovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey. Turkey has recently changed the spelling of their country. Ukraine, Vatican City, Wales, and we were 80 seconds over. I did a lot of talking and that, so let's just go through those again. Albania, Andorra, Austria, Belarus, Belgium, Bosnia, Bulgaria, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, England, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, Kosovo, Latvia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Moldova, Monaco, Montenegro, Netherlands, North Macedonia, Northern Ireland, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Russia, San Marino, Sardinia, Scotland, Serbia, Sicily, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey, Ukraine, Vatican City, and Wales. And let's see if I beat the clock. Okay, 10 seconds over, but that's a lot better than 87 seconds over. Let's exit from that and get into Africa. Getting into Africa, I click the game. We're in review mode. Click single player. They're going to be in alphabetical order again. We have 50 countries listed in Africa: Algeria, Angola, Benin, Botswana, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Cameroon, CAR, Chad, Congo, DROC, with Democratic Republic of the Congo, DROC, Djibouti, Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Eswatini. Eswatini used to be, it just changed their name recently, but that's Eswatini, no, that's Lesotho. Eswatini, Ethiopia. Ethiopia is right inside Somalia, Gabon, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, GH Ivory Coast, JK, Kenya, Lesotho, Liberia, Libya, Madagascar, Malawi, Mali, Montenegro, Mauritania, Morocco, Mozambique, Namibia, Nigeria, OPQ, Rwanda, as Senegal surrounds the Gambia, Sierra Leone, Somalia, South Africa, South Sudan, Tanzania, right below Kenya, Togo, Tunisia, Uganda, Western Sahara, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. That's how easy it is to practice and review. And when you get one wrong, here's another thing. Let me go through this a little again. Let's say that I had a problem trying to remember what these two countries were. Okay. In review mode, when you click one of these, it tells you, okay, that's Rwanda. Okay. This is Burundi. So this is Burundi. That's Rwanda. So if you're ever playing in any mode, you can go right into, let's go back to Europe and put that into review mode. And let's say I have a problem remembering what these four countries are. I remember there used to be some country called Czechoslovakia, but that's been broken into Czech Republic. And I click here, it shows me, no, it's not Albania, which is the question, it's Slovakia. So this Czech Republic, Slovakia, Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, Slovakia. This is Hungary, okay? And this is Austria. So when we go through it, asks for Albania, Andorra, Austria. We know where there's Austria. Belarus is right above Ukraine. Belgium, Bosnia Herzegovina is right inside of the Croatia area. So anyway, that's how when I get stuck, I go right into review mode and I just click a country and say, what is this country? Because I've forgotten that, or this county, or that state, or this province, or whatever. Continuing, let's get into Southeast Asia. We're again in review mode. I haven't done this for a few months, so let's see how well we can do. Here's another interesting thing. When I first started doing this with Southeast Asia, the stand countries were challenged for me. All of these in this area are the stand countries. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. So once we practice with this, we get to where they're not as, let's say, confusing. And just as an aside, I'm doing this inside of the recreation room at the place where I live, and people come and go. You might hear some people having fun in the background doing dart stand. Bangladesh, again, one of the most beautiful names for a country. Bangladesh, Brunei, Bhutan, Brunei. Cambodia. Cambodia is kind of in a circle. Cambodia, China. East Timor is a little tiny country down here in the Indonesia area. India is one of the most populated countries in the world. Indonesia, all of these pink ones down here are Indonesia. Japan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Laos. Laos is right here inside Vietnam. Yellow is Vietnam, that's Laos. Malaysia actually consists of this dark green area and this dark green area. This button represents both of those areas. Malaysia, Mongolia, right below Russia and above China. Myanmar, Nepal. I had a friend from Nepal. This is where the Mount Everest is, right between Nepal and China. Nepal, North Korea, Pakistan. I'm going to have to listen to this video later and see if maybe it's just too loud in here and I need to find other places to do this. But I'm just learning, I'll get better. And that's the other incredible thing about the internet now. With the internet and YouTube and live streaming, you can do so much. You can tell about your life. You can talk about the people you care about, talk about adventures. In this case, the thing I care about is geography. I've told you many times, Papua New Guinea, the Philippines. We can also have games about the particular islands of the Philippines or the islands of Japan for more detail, and that's about Russia. I'm definitely not going to beat the clock this time, but that's not my goal. I'm just going to show you how I review. That was Singapore. This is South Korea. I have friends that live in South Korea now. Sri Lanka. I have had bicyclists stay at my house that have bicycled through Sri Lanka, and they all talk about the elephants of Sri Lanka. One of them got chased by an elephant, and the elephant stomped on his backpack. I probably told you that story many times. Taiwan, we hear that in the news occasionally. This is where Taiwan is located. Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Thailand, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Vietnam. We were 102 seconds over. That's about 2 minutes. And next episode, I'll show you as we go through this. Next episode, I'll do less talking and more playing. Let's exit from that. Let's get into the favorites. Middle East color map game. Single player. It has for Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bahrain. My gosh, the people are loud here. It's like they can't hear. I'm serious. Cyprus, right below Greece. This is how we connect everything together. This was Afghanistan from the Southeast Asia area. And this would be Egypt over here. We're working on the Middle East, Georgia, GH, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Jordan, J, K, Kuwait, L, Lebanon, Oman, Palestine, OPQ, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Turkey, UAE, United Arab Emirates, and Yemen. 20 seconds over. I could replay. I'm going to exit. And now I'm going to skip California here. I'm going to get back into that probably maybe tomorrow. What I want to show you is just an amazing project I did to learn the names and locations of the counties of Texas, 254 counties. Our programmer made a new feature with our system because most teachers, if they teach the counties, they're not going to have them do all 254. With this system, in test mode, even though we have at this point 250 counties on the screen, once you or your student get up to 20 questions, then a button appears that you can use to show their score at that point. It asks for Jim Hogg. These are going to be in random order. If I can get 100% on 25 questions at random. That's pretty good. If your students can do that, they've shown they really do know the material. The other thing is you got to be really careful when you click these buttons. This asks for Franklin. If I click a little bit outside of this button, it's going to think I clicked on another button and I'll get that wrong. So make sure the finger is pointing to where you want to click. Franklin, Coke, Panola. If I get it right, you're going to see that I get it green. It asks for Dickens, Hansford, Fayette. If I get it wrong, it's going to be a red. Okay, let's get one wrong, just to show you. This is Bell, but I'm going to click Coryell by accident. It says that's wrong. Okay, Calhoun. I probably didn't have to show you how I get one wrong. I would probably end up getting one wrong anyway. Out of 25, that's Runnels, Upton. Upton is right above Crockett County. Upton, Howard, right next to. Well, that would be Howard right here. Anderson alphabetically is the first one. Alphabetically, Harrison. Limestone, the little yellow one. Donnelly, Deaf Smith County, Williamson B. And one of the things about some of these counties, some words, is some of the letters are silent. In this case, both E's are silent. This is just plain B County. Ward. Let's see if I get this. Ward. Jones. When we learn these alphabetically, sometimes the alphabet helps us remember where things are. I learned alphabetically Johnson, Jones. So this is Johnson. This would be Jones. Coryell. That's the one I clicked wrong when I was showing you. I missed Bell. This is Bell. This is Coryell. Jackson. Palo Pinto. There are 8 counties that start with the letter P, as I mentioned earlier. Palo Pinto, Live Oak, Armstrong, Archer Armstrong. This would be Armstrong. Real. This would be Reagan. Real alphabetically. Reagan, Real. Grimes, Greg. Guadalupe. So this would be Grimes. Tom Green. Tom Green is really interesting county shape because Tom Green actually squeezes right into above Iron County right here, and a little bitty in there. It's interesting about the history of Tom Green County. Tom Green. Oh, also, once I got to 20 questions, I don't know if you noticed, but this button appeared. I could click that at any time and show what my score is. It'll tell me how many I have answered, and of those, how many are what my score is. I'm going to continue because I really enjoy this. That was more McLennan. I think this is McLennan. It is Lubbock, El Paso. Once you've done this a few times, I mean, I seriously, in the evening, I'll sit there and then just play this game because it's okay. This is Winkler. This would be Loving. I'm glad I didn't click too quickly on that. Dawson. This would be Dawson. This would be Midland County, where Midland, Odessa is. Phillips Petroleum had some oil fields in that area. This would be Dawson. Collin. I lived in Collin County, where Plano, Texas is, right above Dallas County. Lamar. Let's see if this is Lamar. It is. Gonzalez. Goliad Gonzalez. Fisher. This would be Kent, and this would be Fisher. Montague, Malam, Mills Mitchell, Nolan. I think there are 5 counties that start with the letter N. Nolan, Duval, Donnelly, Duval. Let's see if this is Duval. This should be Duval, and it is Hill. This is Smith and Hill. And I just kind of, when I'm clicking on something, I look at the ones around it. This is Hill. Stevens. Let's see if this is Stevens. I got that wrong because this is Stevens. Bosk. Crosby. Crosby, Sterling, right next to Glasscock, and right above Tom Green and Iron. Jeff Davis, Newton. I was born in a county, Jasper, right next to Newton in Missouri. It asked for Newton. I clicked that. Guadalupe. Guadalupe would be this one. LaSalle should be this one. It is Wood. This Wise. This is Wood. Rusk. Let's see if I can press my luck here and see how far I can go without getting the next one wrong. Once I get the next one wrong, I'm going to check my score and kind of bail out, just as my excuse. Baylor. Speaking of bail out, Baylor, Borden, Fannin, Haskell. This would be Haskell. Kennedy, McCullough, right next to San Saba. This would be McCullough. Ector, Maverick, Freestone, McMullen, I think is the yellow one here. It is Roberts. Is it Roberts? There's also Robertson or Robertson at Dallas County, right next to Tarrant, below Collin. This is pretty cool. I want you to learn this. I'm doing all this background narration, which I don't have to do the narration to just go through this and show you. But it just helps me reinforce this Brazoria, this Brazos. Upshur. Is this Upshur? I think this is Upshur, okay? Grayson, this is Gray, this is Grayson. Lipscomb. This is Liberty, Limestone, Lipscomb, alphabetically, how I learned it. Burnett. See, this is Burnett, Mills, Milan, Mills is right about San Saba. Behar, Jefferson County. There are many counties that share names with presidents. I'm not sure that, for example, that Johnson County was probably named prior to President Johnson. But some of these counties probably were named after presidents. Tyler, here's another that shares a name with a president. Tyler County, Caldwell, Colorado, Caldwell, Kamal. Let's see if this is Caldwell. It is. Smith, Edwards. I tell you, the next time we do this, I'll just go through these without all of this bantering. But I enjoy this. You can tell I enjoy this. Wilson County, Jack County. I know I've already got a couple wrong. See if this is Motley. It is Polk, another county that shares a name with the president. May have been named after President Polk or may not have. Hockley. This is Castro. This is Hockley. Terry. This is Terrell. This is Terry. Sherman. Henderson. See if that's Henderson. DeWitt. Delta, Denton, DeWitt. Let's see if this is DeWitt. It is not DeWitt. This is probably DeWitt. Taylor. I said I was going to stop when I got the next one wrong, but I'm going to keep going through this. This is Taylor. This is Hemphill, Culberson, Schlicker, Burleson is right next to, I think, Brazos, and it is Denton. I have a friend whose name is Denton. A spam call. I have learned if I just turn over my phone, the spam turns off. I don't know how that feature got in there. Let's see if this is Webb County, Lampasas. Let's see if this is Lampasas. It is not. Walker, Shackelford, Kerr. This would be Kerr. San Saba's got a unique shape. Hayes, Haskell, Hayes, Nueces, Madison, Gray, this would be Gray, and then Grayson, Oldham, Ochiltree, Oldham, Harris, Lee, this is Lee, Wheeler, Bastrop, Hood. I had a friend in high school, Tom Hood. This is Hood County. Bowie, that's another famous Texan. Here's the other thing about learning the counties of Texas. You learn so much about the history and the important people who were the heroes of Texas. Bowie was one of those. Kamal, Colorado. This would be Colorado, Caldwell, Kamal. Rains, two small counties up here. This is Rockwell. This would be Rains when I click that. Red River is not coincidentally right on the Red River. Swisher, Aransas. I've got up to 175. I'm going to stop at 125. I just want to show you how this system works. Erath. This would be Ellis. This would be Erath. Parker. Palmer. This is Palmer. No. I got that wrong. San Jacinto. Shelby. Midland. We talked about that earlier. Hunt. Hunt is right below. There's Hunt. 123. Let's do two more. Anderson, Andrews. The next one asks for Houston. City of Houston is not in Houston County. This is Houston County. And let's see what our score is. We have answered 125. That's half of the 250 that we show on the screen. We got a 95%. And the red ones, I can see the red ones are the ones I got wrong. And I will go ahead and next time we do that, I might get a better score. So that's how that part of the system works. Did I get into Utah? I think I did. Let's do Utah one more time. That's the one I just learned. It takes more review. So I'm in review mode, click single player, click go. And the other thing is, as we do these live streaming sessions, there's a way that you can comment. And if I see your comments, then I can respond or reply. And maybe we learn something together. Maybe I can get into something just to kind of interact with those who really care about geography. Let's click go. Okay. Beaver, Box Elder, Cache, Carbon, D, Daggett, Davis, Duquesne, E, Emory, GH, G, Garfield, Grand, Ivory, Wob. And all you have to really know, the only prerequisite to learning to use this system is that you be able to recite the alphabet in 5 seconds. The reason that's important is because as you go through this and you get stuck, okay, Kane, what comes after Kane? Well, there's no L, but there is an M. Millard, Morgan, NOP, Paiute, QR, Rich, S. Salt Lake, San Juan, San Pete, Sevier, Summit. Is that another spam call? Yeah, it drives me crazy. Tool, Uinta. I need to turn that off. That's one thing I'm learning. If I'm going to do this, I got to turn this off. Wasatch, Washington, Wayne Weber. Let's go through that one more time. We were 21 seconds over. Beaver, Box Elder, C, Cache, Carbon, D, Daggett, Davis, Duquesne, E, Emory, FG, Garfield, Grand, GHI, Iron, JH, Wob, K, Kane, Millard, Morgan, Elemental P, Paiute, QR, Rich, Salt Lake, San Juan, San Pete, Sevier, Summit, T, Tool, Uinta, Utah, Wasatch, Washington, Wayne, and Weber. So that's how our system works for review. In other videos, you will see how we actually learn each of these areas of the world. 7 countries or 7 states at a time, 7 counties at a time, 7 is a magic number that students can uh, actually quickly learn and absorb. That's how our system works. Someplace on here it might be telling me how long this has been. I'm just learning how to use this live streaming system uh, because I think it's really, really important that we learn about geography. And so many people, here's the other thing, here's the problem I really have. And I have a problem with geography teachers. So many geography teachers will tell you, and they'll tell me, it's not important that we learn the names and locations of countries of the world. I don't want to offend anybody because I need geography teachers to be involved with this. But it's like saying we're going to learn to read, but it's not important that you learn to say the alphabet. It's not important to be able to count to 21 or 31 in order to do math. To me, that is so ridiculous. So ridiculous. When I was in 7th grade and we got into geography, we learned the 50 states and we learned major countries of the world. But when they gave us a test, a final test at the end of the school year, if that map of the United States had not been on the front wall showing where all the states were, even after a full semester, we would have flunked that statewide test. Now, the reason I believe that this is so important to tell you is that in the past, the way we learned geography was by regions. Well, and I ask teachers when I go into schools, what region is California in? And they say, well, it's in the Pacific region. And I tell them, well, it really depends on how old you are. Because before Alaska and Hawaii, and I was before Alaska and Hawaii became states, California was in the western region. So the concept of teaching states by region, my point is, if you can learn the 50 states in one evening, you can learn 50 states in one evening in Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky. If you can do that in one evening, you are failing. You are failing yourself and your students if you don't do this. And even, I tell you the truth, when I was in school, our teachers taught us that Arctic and Antarctica were two of the continents. And then I hear about the ships, submarines going under the Arctic Ocean, as it turns out. We create this system to make it easy for you to learn. We give all the basic games for free because we think it's so important. Here's the other thing. I'm not going to go into other things. There's so many things I want to tell you about the importance of geography. For now, I appreciate you caring about geography. We're going to have a schedule when I meet with the guys that know how the social media works. I'm going to try and figure out when I should do this. We're going to have a schedule. But each day I hope to spend 2 hours a day going through this 7 days a week, helping anybody that wants to find out about our channel, helping anybody that wants to drop in and learn and connect, help you learn about geography. I'll tell you another thing. If you're a geography teacher, you already know this. Americans are geographically illiterate. I meet people from around the world that know the 50 states. I was pushing my mom through one of the airports in a wheelchair, and one of the, I don't know what they're called, guys that help you with those things came over and said, I'll help push. I said, where are you from? He said he's from the Philippines. And we talked about the Philippines, and he knew where all the states were. So many people, I get so frustrated. But I'm learning how this works. I hope you learn with me. I don't have many years left, so you better learn with me fast, because pretty soon you're going to have to be learning with whoever comes on and decides they want to take over, because one of these days someone's going to have to take over. I'm going to click a couple of buttons. One says end stream, and then it says, are you sure you want to really end the stream? So it gives me a second chance. So I got to go over here and find these buttons. I'm going to click that button, click some other button, and thank you for watching. Appreciate your time. Take care.